All right, you guys, so I am back with a video here. It's been a while since I've hit the road and gone on any adventures, but I wanted to create some content and share something with you guys that I've been thinking about for a while. So this is my backcountry bug out bag. It's supposed to be a 3-day survival kit. I haven't really updated this bag or kind of organized it and looked through it in a while, so it might be missing some things, but I definitely wanted to share this with my audience so you guys can get kind of an idea of things to put in your backcountry bug out bag. If you do a lot of off-roading and overlanding and you like to go out and get lost in the middle of nowhere like I do, you definitely should have one of these. Your car could break down, something could happen. You could blow a tire after, replacing it with your spare. You never know what can happen, when you're out completely off somewhere by yourself and, 50, 100, even more miles away from the closest town or from people that might, be able to help you. Or if you're like me, I generally love to go out on trails and on trips on weekdays when most people are working. And if you get stuck in a situation like that, you're not going to have anyone on those back roads or in those areas that you're in until the weekend to help you out. So you definitely need some backup. You definitely need some supplies to make sure that you can get out of there, get to safety, or get to some help in one piece. So that's why I have this backcountry bug out bag. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bust this thing open, get everything out on the table for you guys to take a look at, and kind of describe why I have some of these things in my bag. So I'm gonna get to that. All right, so I've pretty much got everything out of the bag here, broken out onto the table. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this stuff, and I'm gonna go down the list here one by one and explain what it is and why I have it in my bag. All right, guys, so we can go ahead and start on this end. These two things do not need a whole lot of um, explanation. Hunting knife, I carry this with me at all the times, even during basic hikes, especially when I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I don't really like to carry a gun around unless the area is too remote and it seems kind of sketchy. This knife is usually all I need. This is a great tool, and it's also my personal belief that if you're a human, you're out in the middle of nowhere by yourself, you definitely shouldn't be totally defenseless. So this is just a must for me. I've had this for years. Really reliable, keeps its edge well. So that the sidearm, don't really need to explain too much about that. When you're out overlanding, off-roading, backpacking, way out places, going through small towns that you don't really know a whole lot about. Some of these places are not safe. You should definitely at least have this in your car. I'm going to leave that up to you guys to be the judge about that situation. Moving on, this is a really nice knife from, I believe, a Swedish company. This is for making primitive survival tools, preferably something like a fire bow. You need a knife that is extremely industrial, and it's for woodworking and different things like that. And that's what this knife is for. This is specifically made for making backcountry tools, primitive tools, different things like that, cutting into wood, different things like that. That's what this knife is for. That's why I got it. I took a survival course and we had to make fire bows. That was one of the activities. And they had knives like this, and I just went and pretty much got a very similar brand. And yeah, I purchased that. So that's why I have that, because it's a knife that I can reliably use as a tool versus a self-defense weapon. So yeah, I have that. And then I'll put the links to the brands and different things like that. But that's the company that makes it. It's Bahco, Bahco. But I'll put that link down below. I've got this Carbolic Soap, which is a super potent soap for if you have, you get some kind of scrape or wound or something needs to be cleaned and you need to be confident that it's not going to catch a disease. This is a very tough soap that you really shouldn't use just casually. It's for intense disinfection and cleaning of your body or wounds. Say you fall into some poison ivy and you've been scratching it and it's kind of gnarly and you really need to make sure you're not going to get an infection. I have this soap in here just to, in a certain situation like that, to make sure we don't get any infections or something serious backcountry. I've got this survival shovel, little portable shovel here. It works, it doubles as a saw, dropping stuff, and it also has a handle extension and different things like that. You basically screw it and you can use it. This end attaches to that. You can screw that in there. Other tools, this thing that fell on the floor is a little saw attachment, which you can attach to the shovel. Just in case you need to dig like a fire pit or something like that. If you're stuck out and it gets cold, you need to hack some wood. This will double as a saw, anything like that. You can use it as a lever. You know, I'm not sure what kind of situations you're going to be in. God forbid you're in something too serious, but yeah, just good to have the tools that you need to be able to get out of those situations. And we'll continue fiddling with that later. I've got this mirror here, signaling mirror. If you're stranded out in the middle of nowhere and you need people to come and help you, and you're far off into the distance, this may increase your chances of being noticed. You shine, you flash this in the direction of the vehicle or the airplane or the helicopter or wherever if you need help. A signaling mirror could make the difference between life and death. You never know. That's why I have this in my bag. It's a signaling mirror just in case I'm way out helpless and there's a car driving by down below, or I'm way up in a canyon somewhere and there's a helicopter flying overhead or looking for me. This will make it a lot easier for someone to spot me. I've got my flashlights here, crank powered. As you can see, it works. Very durable. No batteries necessary. Great for the backcountry. I believe these are even water resistant or waterproof up to a certain depth. I have 2 of them just in case. Let's see if this one works. Fold that back in there. Yep, that one works as well. I have this because I don't really wear sunglasses. This is the no glare. You put this under your eyes and it reduces some of the glare that comes in. It eases the strain on your eyes. I really love traveling in the spring and the summer when it's really hot and these locations have intense glare, so I carry this around with me a lot. I've got this automatic fishing line. Never really used it, but if you're out stuck somewhere for an extended period of time, starving, and you want to try your luck at fishing, this is a little automatic fishing line. I've never actually used this. I don't know if these actually work. I'm not sure what people's success rate is catching fish with something like this, but you put the hook down into the water and it has this mechanism where when the fish bites onto it, it snaps and pulls the hook in the fish's mouth, and hopefully you can catch a fish. So, who knows? Just thought it was a handy tool to have in a survival pack. Paracord, as you guys know, all the different uses for this. A little paracord bracelet, real portable. Everybody pretty much has these. A really solid military style compass with ranger beads. I do not. I used to know how to do this. I used to be very proficient in this. This is a diminishing skill and I have not practiced in years. So unfortunately, all of the different benefits of being able to use this properly and efficiently the way you're supposed to use it, I don't know how to do that anymore. But I've got a compass. It's got all the degrees on here. If I ever got back into terrain and navigation, I have this tool. But you should have a compass on you. But it's important to keep your skills sharp. That's another thing about when you open up your bag. I haven't opened up my bag for a while, and it's reminding me that, hey, you got to kind of replenish some of your skills, because some of my skills have diminished, including the use of this compass and ranger beads. So I've got my whistle here. People always wonder why they have whistles in survival kits or emergency kits. It's because if you are parched, you haven't had water, or you're extremely weak and you can't scream, this whistle will kind of replace you yelling out for help and calling out for help. You blow this whistle and hopefully people will hear it and see you and be able to come and find you. That's what the whistle's for. Got some storm matches, waterproof matches. As you can see, storm matches. If it's rainy, it's wet, you need to start a fire, you're freezing, these will hopefully be able to give you a fighting chance. Got this ham radio here. This thing is absolutely useless unless you have the emergency frequencies on a sheet of paper or on your phone, so that you know certain frequencies to try if you're out trying to get help and reach the authorities. I do not have that paper, so this ham radio is essentially worthless in my survival pack. I need to get those codes and frequencies in my backpack. And a lot of them are very specific to what region that you're in. So you need to have those codes. Say if you're traveling to Utah or you're traveling to Wyoming or Nebraska or something like that, you need to have the specific codes for those regions that, the sheriff uses or search and rescue uses or the Forest Service uses. There's different agencies that have frequencies, and you might be able to reach them with this radio. There's other emergency frequencies that they have for these radios that you can use. I'm not aware of those. I don't have those. So as I said, this radio is essentially worthless in my pack. I need to locate those frequencies. I've got these fuel tablets here. These are for my commander stove. If I'm in a survival situation, I'm not really going to be doing too much cooking or worried about too much cooking, but a commando stove can be used for water purification. And this just made me realize that one of the biggest things that I'm missing in my kit, because I lost it on a recent trip to Death Valley. I had one of those stainless steel metal cups. I always have that attached to my survival bag. I lost it. I need to buy a new one. Why do I need to buy a new one? Because in this situation with this commando stove right here, these are the fuel tablets. You light them. They can light on fire. I think each fuel tablet lasts about 10 minutes or so, 10 or 15 minutes. So you've got quite a bit of cook time. It's 24 tablets in each box. So, you're covered for any emergency situation. And this just folds down and it rests like that on its base, the commando stove. And I would put that metal cup here, and if there's some water nearby and I don't have this life straw, say this life straw fell out of my bag or I wasn't able to recover it or something crazy happened. Water is important. If you don't have water for, 3 days, you will die. So, food, you can go 30 days without food. You're going to have some serious hunger pains and different things like that, but water is no joke. You don't have water, you're done. You don't have a chance in survival. So if I don't have that life straw, I've got my commando stove, and I'm going to get that that stainless steel camping cup. I place it on here. I can boil that water for 30 minutes, an hour if it's really gnarly, and I can drink that water, and that water will save my life. So that's why having something like this is essentially, this commando stove is backup water purification. And you can cook on it, but this is purely backup water purification in my survival bag. Safety glasses. This was really, I use these when I just go out for fun, when I'm camping with buddies and we're shooting. I use these for shooting, but if you're hacking woods and tree limbs and different things like that, gathering firewood, and you don't want to, the hassle of getting something in your eye, sure, you can wear these. Eye protection has never hurt anybody. Got some sunglasses here. I'm not much of a sunglass wearer at all, but in the event that I'm out, in Nevada or Arizona, and the sun is just beaming, and I'm, hiking 20, 30 miles to get help or something like that, I don't really want my eyes fried. So I've got some sunglasses just to ease that stress on my eyes and keep me moving comfortably. So sunglasses, you should have them. Got some cutlery here, metal cutlery. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing too much dining and whatnot in an emergency situation, but you never know what these can come in handy for. That you might be able to break them down and modify them into tools, or if you're in a really bad situation, bend them up and twist them into some kind of primitive hunting gear. Who knows? I don't know, but I've got that cutlery in my pack. I've got a hooded poncho. Sometimes the weather can take a turn for the worst. I usually always have a raincoat in my Jeep, but if I'm not in my Jeep and I get separated from my vehicle and I'm out and it just somehow starts to rain or the weather takes a turn for the worse, I've got this, bare minimum plastic poncho so I can keep dry. Very important. Got these hand warmers here. This is something else that's very important in your survival pack. You need to check and make sure things still work. I've had these hand warmers for about 3 years now. I have no idea if they still work. It's probably time to get some new ones, so I'm most likely going to get some new hand warmers. These are very important. For those of you that don't know, once your hands get extremely cold, warming them back up takes a long time, and it depends on how cold, the ambient temperatures around you, you may never get your hands back warm unless you have a fire or some sort of external source of heat. I remember I was out in Wyoming in Yellowstone National Park, and I got like a private snowmobile ride around, and it was negative 24 most of the day, and the hottest part of the day, it was, I think, 0 degrees was the hottest part of the day. And I remember getting my hands out of my gloves for a second, and they got cold, and it was probably the worst pain I've ever felt in my hands, and I was not able to warm them up. Luckily, I had some hand warmers and got the job done, and that taught me a lesson about these. So these are important if you're ever going anywhere cold and you get stranded, because sometimes gloves cannot do the job because it's simply too cold. We got our emergency blanket here. Everyone knows about that. You know, keep warm, emergency blanket. This little monocle or monocular, I think that's what they call these, monocular. I use these if I'm out in the middle of nowhere and you see, you know, cars coming or different things. It really helps you check out and see, you know, check for danger, scout for, you know, potential help, see what landmarks are. If you see something off in the distance and you're not really sure what it is, different things like that. There might be trouble headed your way, you know, and you don't know it. You might just see something moving off in the distance and you don't know what it is. And this will kind of help you determine, you know, what's going on far off in the distance. And this is only really effective to things very, very, very far off in the distance, because up into anything that's closer than a mile, your eyes have a better view than this. This is only good for things really far off. But that's why I have it. And moving on here, I've got my first aid kit, absolutely essential. This is my basic first aid kit. I have another first aid kit that I'm actually going to do an entire video on and show you guys. It is the most insane complex first aid kit ever. It is not this kit, it's another kit I'm going to show you guys. That kit is I really would hope that nothing would ever happen that would allow me, or that would force me to use that kit, because they've literally got they've got things in there I would never want to use. But we've got a basic first aid kit here. Why are these so important? Because if you get a wound in the backcountry in the middle of nowhere and that wound becomes infected, you are essentially screwed. Infections are absolutely no joke. Something as simple as this triple antibiotic ointment can save your life. I am not kidding. This can save your life. If you get an infection and you are away from help, and you're already weak and, you know, running low on water, different things like that, their chances are you might not make it. So just a basic first aid kit with antibiotics, with things that allow you to clean and dress a wound properly, different things like that. This is an absolute must. There's a couple more things in here that are in the backpack because I didn't want to do the repetitive thing, but first aid kit, extremely, and you've got a little booklet here that gives you, you know, first aid and CPR. I'm CPR certified, thank God. But this booklet in here will remind you if you need help, different things like that. Very important, first aid kit. Despite how important I just said this first aid kit was, in my humble opinion, I think the most important thing in this in my 3-day survival pack, in my backcountry bug out bag, is the life straw. As you know, water is extremely, extremely important. If you do not have water and you are stranded somewhere for more than 2 days, 3 days, you're done. You're not going to make it. This life straw allows you to locate a water source wherever it may be. It can be stagnant, it can be nasty, it can be smelly, it can be clean. It can look clean. You never know because of the bacteria in it. Your body's probably not used to the bacteria. You can just pop this thing open, take the straw, dip it in the water, drink it, and you are good to go. This thing is literally designed for drinking stagnant poop water. So this can save your life. This is an extremely, extremely valuable asset in my backcountry bug out bag. I highly recommend it, and they're very cheap. This company is revolutionary. Got some gloves here just in case I'm collecting firewood or moving something, you know, who knows what the situation is. You need some gloves to protect your hands. I've got that. Got several gloves here for that. Got the wire saw here. You know, you may need a wire saw, who knows. I've got more paracord here. You may need to make a splint. This can be used to make primitive shelter. This could be used to, who knows, whatever the situation may call for. I've got plenty of paracord in here to deal with it. I've got a power bank here just to keep my phone charged. This power bank is not charged out of juice, which is why you need to constantly check your bug out bag and make sure that you not only know how to use the gear in your bug out bag, but that the things that need to be properly charged are properly charged. This has no juice, so this will be worthless in the backcountry. It's just dead weight. You don't want to carry around dead weight. I've got lighters. I usually have several lighters. I need to refill this thing with lighters. Why lighters? Because yes, we have storm matches. Yes, I have tools to make a fire bow. Yes, I have some other stuff here that'll help me start a fire, but I mean, why waste energy when I can literally just do that? That saves me about an hour and frustration trying to build a fire bow. So lighters, very important. Lighter fails. I've got dryer lint, some flammable materials here, and little fire starters. I have successfully started a fire using one of these, and nothing but these and dryer lint. The sparkers, I'll just take out one of them. I have two of them in there. But the striker and I forgot what to call these, but yes, I've started a fire with this. I've successfully started a fire with nothing but this, dry leaves, and the dryer lint that you see here. So I know how to do that. Staying warm is absolutely essential if you're out there by yourself. If I need to cut larger branches, different things like that, I don't have an axe, but I do have this guy. This is from the same company, Poncho, as you can see, Swedish brand. If I need to, cut some wood, anything, like the guy that fell and his arm got trapped and he had to amputate his arm, your arm might be stuck. God forbid. I mean, this will get through your arm pretty quick. You're not going to have to use a spoon or a fork or something like, I think that guy did, but, God forbid. This is just, if you need a cutting tool, you don't know, you could be, your seatbelt could be stuck or something. I don't know. But I have this in my bug out bag. What else do we got here? So this is very important. This is a rain cover for my backpack. If the weather goes bad, I don't want all my stuff getting wet. So I have a waterproof rain cover for the backpack to keep my stuff dry, to keep me dry, to keep me safe and secure. I love these. These are just little hoods to give you extra warmth. It's the warmer you are when you're out by yourself, the better, the safer you are. You can move more, you can think better, you can react faster. These little hoods that you throw over, and they keep you warm, they keep your neck warm, they keep your head warm. I love these. Always carry those around. Some more gloves. These are kind of work gloves. If you're picking up stuff, forging stuff, you don't want to, cut your hands, different things like that. Have those, very cheap, disposable essentially. Some really solid gloves to keep my hands warm if I'm in the backcountry trying to find help or get somewhere. With these, I know my hands are going to stay warm. I don't have to worry about that. I need my hands to maneuver and manipulate things. Got to have a good, solid, durable pair of gloves. Really durable, solid pair of gloves here. And this is to hold all, any backcountry maps or different things like that. You got your protractors and different things like that in there. I do not know how to use this stuff anymore. This is a diminishing skill. This goes along with my compass here. Definitely need to work on building those skills again. But yeah, definitely keep your skills up if you go in the backcountry a lot. And I think that's pretty much everything. Last thing I've got is this knife sharpener. Keep your blade sharp. I don't think I would be out in the wilderness long enough where I needed to worry about keeping a knife sharp, but who knows? You never know. But I have that, and that's about it. Other than that, as you guys can see, everything here was what's in my bag. The only thing that's missing, which is very important, was my stainless steel camping cup. It needs to be stainless steel so that you can boil water in it. That's very important for water purification purposes. But that's pretty much it. All right, guys, so that pretty much wraps it up. Another thing I forgot to remind you guys about or show you in my bag is I normally like to keep about 4 trail mix bars or protein bars or something of that nature in here. Obviously, you need to check the expiration date on those and throw them out when they're bad. That's what happened to the ones that were in here. I clearly need to replenish those. If you're out in the backcountry looking for help or hiking, to wherever you need to get to, obviously having a little bit of energy will help you, make the journey a whole lot smoother, keep you more alert and focused, and it will increase your chances of survival. So definitely, I like to have some trail mix bars or protein bars in here. They shouldn't be super perishable. They need to be able to last a couple months in here, and you need to swap those out and make sure you have them in here. I didn't have them in here, so I need to get them in here. But yeah, I want to get that video out to you guys. I'm just trying to get some content out. I haven't been able to hit the road in a while. But if you guys have any ideas or suggestions for videos you want to see me make, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Please like and share and subscribe if you guys like what I'm doing. This is something I'm passionate about and I want to share it with you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys are having some epic journeys out there. Hope you guys are staying safe. Hope you guys have some backup bags like this. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Thanks.